Basically here we have everything I use at the moment, and up there is what I use in winter. The project was called 333, which is basically that you use 33 items for 3 months. So here we have 2 pants. One of them, you can take it off here, so it's 2 in 1. This one is also, it goes with everything. I mean, I can put it together with this, but I can also put it together with one of these, because the colors still match. So having some basics where the colors actually met up quite nicely makes it much easier, so that people don't see that you're running around with the same stuff all the time. I have some, like in summer, I usually run around with different dresses, and then I just update them with belts or with scarves. And then by changing the color of the scarf or the different belts, you actually can make of one outfit something very different.
Why 33? How did that number come about?
We needed a number that was high enough so that it's doable and low enough that it's still a challenge. Because there's, for example, a challenge that's called 6 items or less, where you actually for 1 month live with only 6 items, which is a nice challenge, but if you work in an office environment, it's very difficult to do. And most people get tired, like 6 items, like 2 outfits, and that's it. But with 33 items, it gives you enough so that you can play, that you can find out new stuff. You will find out that actually of the 33 items, you use only 30 or 25, because still there are stuff that you will not use in the 3 months. This is because of my flatmate, she's a designer. This is normally not my color, but we'll see if it survives the next decluttering, because I periodically go through everything and change stuff around. I go a lot to like fashion swaps and stuff because I kind of get tired of stuff, but I don't like buying stuff. So I just take whatever I'm tired of at the moment and swap it. A dress, I very often combine it with this. Apparently there are also some ways how you can put it like this, but I haven't really experimented enough with this yet. This also matches. I can just put this over it and then it looks like it was meant to be like this. And I'm pretty sure that everybody in his or her wardrobe has stuff that can be combined in very different ways. But because you have so much and never have the necessity to combine anything, you don't see it. And then, of course, this one can also go with this one, because it's the same color. If you only have 30 things, it's easy to see that this is the same color. But if you never see them together, you wouldn't realize. So it's like having less actually gives you more options. There are some studies that show that women only use 20% of what they have in their wardrobe. Like there's 80% in there that's just lying around. And it makes life very stressful. Because you open the wardrobe, it's like, oh my God. And then you say, I have nothing to wear. Which is kind of true, because there's nothing in there what actually suits you or what you really like to wear. So I wanted to take all this stress out of my wardrobe. It's very relaxing to open this in the morning. So, what are we going to wear today? Blue or red? That's it. I like to put them by colors because that makes it much easier to combine stuff. My colors are basically this like greenish turquoise and this like pink purple. So I try whenever I buy something that it goes within these. Usually people don't know what their colors are. But the easiest way to find out is when do people tell you, wow, this looks gorgeous on you. In my case, it's this like kind of turquoise, which goes very well with my eyes. While, for example, if I put on yellow, like my skin just looks very dead. Once you know your primary color, like the color you most like, you can always go on the internet and look for color schemes. I mean, even if you go to the big stores where they sell paint, they will give you the colors that match together. Like have 1 or 2 base colors and then put 1 or 2 contrast colors on it, which in this case would be white or black. And this is actually my favorite here, because it is a dress, but you can put this one, because it is the same color as the flowers here. You can actually put this one or underneath or over it, or you can put it on and then just let it fall so it's like a skirt.
So it's really important to know your colors?
Yes, it's super important. And that the colors you have, because sometimes people have colors that look very good on them, but that don't look well together. Then this one happens to have the exact same color as the flowers. Sometimes I just put it on top. Because then you can combine everything. And if you can combine everything, it makes your life much easier because you don't have this, ooh, I'm running around with the same thing every day. So now we have just a nice skirt. Plus you feel much more confidence. Because it's good to be reusing stuff and to do good combinations, but you don't want the secretary at your job to remark on how you are wearing the same skirt over and over again. So being able to combine different things to make it just look a little bit different is actually a very powerful way to reuse things. This is actually a tad more business-like. To have it a little bit more casual, I can put this one on. The target of this is not the normal person, or normal in the sense of they already know that they have to. And this works both with this underneath or also just with the dress. With this, I want to get to people that buy a lot, that every weekend, just for the fun of it, go shopping. And for them, 33 actually is a big challenge. And then, depending on how you just let it flow or tie it behind or tie it in front, or sometimes I'll even tie it like this. Not buying for 3 months, because of course, if you commit to 33 items in 3 months, it means you are not going to buy anything new. So as this is a very, very summery dress, and you need 3 months, more or less, to change a habit. We can either put this over it. I'm not against shopping per se. I think it's important, especially for the development of our own personalities, to do change, because our lives change, and it makes sense to adapt your wardrobe to the life you're leading and not the other way around. I'm pretty sure that the designer didn't thought this dress to be that versatile. But if you buy fewer things, you can actually put more into the quality of these things. And the good thing is, when you go out like this and then, oh, it was hotter than I expected, you just take the skirt underneath out and you're done.
And why did you decide to do this?
Because I had too much stuff. I travel a lot. If you have little, it's very easy to just pick out the 3 things you like most. Because there is not so much I can add, which actually makes it a lot more stress-free. When was the last time that you took everything out of the wardrobe, just to revise one by one? When did I use this the last time? Did I like using it? Because there are things, we buy them, and then we use them because they were so expensive, and I mean, you need to use them. Even though you don't really like, because you lost weight, or you gained weight, or you're not into short skirts anymore, or whatever. And it's like, you make yourself unhappy just because you want to live up to something that's not yours anyway. I always say, kind of mockingly, that nature abhors the vacuum. And if there is space, something will come up to fill this space. So I have a very minimal wardrobe, but it takes work. I mean, I review this wardrobe every 2-3 months to see what I didn't wear. For example, this one here, I wore it once in the last 3 months. So I'm pretty sure that it will not survive the next review. It takes a little bit of self-knowledge and of work to actually maintain the minimalist. But the most important is, as long as you are happy with what you have, because as soon as it starts to stress you out, you know that you have to change something. Usually the wardrobe is you get out of bed and you open the wardrobe, and then if it attacks you with lots of stuff, it's like, whew. In the end, our brain is not made to take in more than a certain amount of things. So whenever there is too much information coming in, we start shutting off stuff. But this is a very stressful thing to do, especially because in the back of your mind, you know, maybe I'm not choosing the right of everything I have. There are some interesting studies that it's very good to have some choices, but it actually makes you less happy if you have too many choices. Like when you can choose between 3 jeans, you know you made the best choice because you tried them all 3 on and then you take the one that you like most. But now you have 120 jeans. How will you ever know that you actually made the best choice? There might be one jeans out there that's actually better than the one you bought. And this is like in net happiness, it's worse than if you just had 3. And it's the same with your own wardrobe. You know that you are best dressed for the occasion you are going to today because you made the best decision based on everything you have. everything that is in this wardrobe, including the shoes, fits into this small suitcase. Which means I just can, if my mom calls me and say, you have to be here by tonight because whatever happened, I don't have to think. I like it very much that my own wardrobe is like challenging me all the time, reminding me all the time that you can live with less stuff. All those long minutes, hours, whatever, that you're agonizing about what to wear next, it's very clear what you're going to wear less, because today I feel like blue, and that means I have 3 options, and of the 3 with the weather, it's this one that works best. So it takes a lot of thinking out of stuff that's not really worth thinking about. So then you can actually commit to what you want to do and what really makes you happy. Because like getting dressed is not, like, for most people it's not the point 1 on the happiness list. It's more like getting dressed to do something, and that makes you happy.